Reba here. Welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. Well, you guys, it's a couple days later, and I'll show you what I ended up doing so far. Excuse me, in the garden. So, I've moved the greenhouse. I had it right here, but it wasn't getting enough sunlight during the day. At this time of the year, it's not able to have enough sunlight that hits it to keep it warm inside. In the summertime, it worked out great right here during the heat of the summer, so that it didn't get too awful hot in there, and it actually kept it a lot cooler being up under the edge of the house here, and then just getting the afternoon sun that would heat it up just a little bit more. So yeah, so I've got a rabbit in the yard, you guys, and it is eating my plants. So I had to move everything. So kind of show you what I've done. And we did have a storm come through last night, and there was a little bit of thunder and lightning, but it wasn't too crazy. So only a little bit of the pots have the tulle off of them. So that's what I ended up doing here, is just putting tulle all the way down. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come through and I'm going to pull all the tulle off, and then just put it in one of my lawn chairs that I'm not using right now. Just kind of move it, out of the way, and so it doesn't blow all over the yard and that sort of thing. So probably up under the overhang here, the little patio. But I've been working this week, and my schedule gets pretty busy. So in the mornings I have a little bit of free time, which is really nice. And so yeah. So I covered them. The sun is glistening off of the water on the areas, and I covered these just to be precautionary, just to try to deter the rabbit. It came off in a couple spots here. As you can see, it came off right there. I thought this was a mushroom, but I think it's a ball. Let's see. Yeah, it's a ball. I was like, where'd that come from? I don't think that's ours. I think that might be the neighbor's kids. So yeah, it came off a little bit right here, you guys. Not a big deal. But as you can see, I have my my plants up on buckets, and only certain ones. Not all of them are up on buckets, and I'll explain that right now. So blueberries and currants and gooseberries, and I wasn't quite sure about the high cranberry bush, so I went ahead on precautionary. I just put it up. It's that one right there. I put that one up too. And anything that I felt like I needed to kind of protect a little bit, like tree wise, I either elevated it higher off the ground, or I wrapped tulle around it to kind of protect it, because I don't have tree guards for the bottoms of the trees to keep the rabbits from chewing on them. So I really need to invest in some tree guards for my trees, so I don't have to worry so much. It's a little bit harder to do that on the blueberries. A rabbit can decimate your blueberries, you guys, and completely just chew all the bark off and kill them. And there's a chance that, in the spring, that things could come back. But right now, this time of year, I've got new shoots. So as you can see right here, I have a new shoot here and a new shoot here that's come up on my pink lemonade. And that's prime, beautiful, enticing food for the little rabbits. And so they're going to want to eat that, because it is nice and tender and probably oh so yummy. And then I have another two shoots, younger shoots on this one right here. This is my, I believe, my Spartan on the end. Yep. And so I've got two new shoots right there on this side. Then I ended up getting one of those blue totes out of the garden shed, and I put all of my apple trees into the garden tote here. I was able to fit them all in here. Probably because I haven't divided this one up that has the different trees on it. And I don't know if I'm going to keep all of these. I'm going to probably just pick maybe 3 of the best ones and see how they survive the winter. I think I'm just going to leave it alone and leave it in that until next spring. And then I'll figure that out later. My other trees are all looking good. They actually kind of like being in this. I'm seeing some new growth on them, which is really great. I also have a currant in here, and that's my white currant that I had picked up that was on sale. And I think I got it like 40% off or something like that. So it was like maybe $12, or I can't remember. It was really, really cheap. So I got my white currant in there as well. And rabbits like to eat currant bushes as well as the currant leaves. And they'll do the same thing with my gooseberries, because it's the same family. Now, the rabbits aren't going to mess with the peppers or the tomatoes, because those are in the nightshade family. So these ones are fine. I don't have to do any moving of these, which is great. I wasn't sure if the rabbits would eat on my chestnut trees, so I went ahead and precautionarily just moved them up. I still need to look that up and see if they would eat them or not, but I think that they will eat nut tree bark as well. So there's that. And then I moved my lilacs up. I don't think that it'll eat the lilac. I'm going to have to double check. It's possible that they won't eat lilac, but it's also possible that they will. And I wasn't sure if these were lilacs that had come up in my pot right here. And I ripped all the top leaves off. So that's all right. Lilacs are spreaders. So I'm like, I'm fine. You know, the more will come up. And then I got this mini eggplant here that's growing. Look at how beautiful that is. So you guys can see. And then, yeah, so I'm going to come through here and pull these off. My bushes are putting on a lot of growth. I have some new growth on these as well, and I didn't want the rabbit to eat the new growth right down here. And so, and it's pretty young, but I wasn't sure, again, on the high bush cranberry if the rabbits would want to eat it. So I moved it up. Now, elderberries, generally speaking, the rabbits aren't going to mess with. Rabbits and deer won't mess with your elderberries because they actually have a toxin in them. And I've even noticed that sometimes when I have my elderberries planted with like my strawberries planted in the same pot with my elderberries, it was killing my strawberry plants. So there is a toxin that is emitted even around the root areas of your bushes and that sort of thing. So that's why some things will grow great with them and other things won't. So my lilies grow awesome with my elderberries, and so do my hyacinths. Now, lilies, I think rabbits will eat, but hyacinths, they won't, because they're poisonous to rabbits. So that might be the reason why the rabbit wasn't messing with my black crandall currants, because all of that green right down there, those are all grape hyacinths. And so if the rabbit checks out these leaves at the edge of the pot, it's going to just think this is full of hyacinth, and it's not even going to bother messing with my, you know, my bush there. So that might be an idea for me in the future, to just plant tons of those kind of bulbs under and around my my berry bushes like this, because hey, you know, if I can deter a rabbit from feasting on the bark and killing my bushes, that's something I'm going to go for. So I'll be looking into that. So doing a little bit of companion planting with my bushes. So these items, I think rabbits do like dogwoods. So, but I haven't seen him messing with them so far. I haven't seen any like real damage, but these, for the most part, these are all like the free items that I had gotten, you guys. So, I'm not so worried about them. There is some young growth on them, but, yeah, I'm not sure how long the rabbit's been in the yard. So yeah. And then these right here are some of my gooseberries here. But see, I'm not going to be outside in the garden all day either. So I've seen the rabbits come here during the middle of the day as well. So let me see. I'll start pulling some of this off, because there's water all over, you guys, this tool. And it's going to weight down the plants. And it's also going to create the condensation or the water's going to burn the leaves eventually. So we got to get these uncovered really quick. And I'll just put it into one of the little chairs. There we go. And I wasn't using this with some free tool that I had picked up, and I had already designated it to be in the garden, which is nice. And I went ahead and precautionarily put some tool around the base of my jujube, just in case. Now, rabbits will eat raspberries and blackberry leaves, and also like the stem area and that sort of thing. But I'm not so worried about that so much. I have most of my blackberries along the fence over here raised up. And so, yeah, they look all right. I don't think the rabbits messed with them. Rabbits don't typically climb or jump really high. Like, they can jump really high. But, and I have seen videos of this gal named Robbie that makes videos down in California, and I've seen some of her footage, and the rabbits can actually jump pretty decent. Like, they can get into my green buckets over there, and those are kind of a decent height. So those trees really aren't that safe either. So I really need to get some protective guards on those. But chances are, I think I'm dealing with a young rabbit, and so he's not really trying to get in. He's just looking for easy food at this moment. So I think those trees are safe right now. Rabbits also really like hydrangeas, I think. And it might have been a different flower, but I think hydrangeas they like to eat. And then they also like this kind of the burning bush. Cornelian cherry is one of the ones that, or not Cornelian cherries, but the burning bush. Dogwood was another one of the items that they had mentioned online that they really liked. And so I moved this one up. And then I've got my pawpaws just in case up. And then all of my gooseberries all up high here. And then over here, I put some across here just to kind of protect a little bit. But the wind blew everything off right here. So I'll be putting these, picking this off too. And I probably need to water again over here, because under the house right here, the plants don't get a whole lot of water naturally. And we had rain come through, so I don't have to water my garden today, which is great. But these ones don't really get a whole lot of water, so I'll just kind of spray these a little bit here, and they'll be all right. And these are hyacinths, so I don't have to worry about the rabbit eating those bulbs. Now, sometimes from my reading, I've noticed that sometimes rabbits will, when they're young, they don't know fully. So sometimes they'll eat on things that they're not supposed to be eating on. So yeah, there's a chance. But when I first started the video, I looked over here, you guys, and I saw a little cucumber down there. How cute is that? And those are muncher cucumbers, so that's ready to pick. So this is my first cucumber of the season, and we're like into almost halfway through. Here we go. First cucumber, halfway through September. I think it's the Friday the 13th today, you guys. September, almost halfway through the month. And so this is my first cucumber from the garden. How awesome is that? In September. Normally I'm thinking people are getting them in July, but everything's been like 2 months late in my garden, including my peppers, my tomatoes. I was really, really surprised. Very, very happy. My microclimate in my yard, I'm finding I have the best luck with cherry tomatoes. So next year, that's all I'm gonna have is cherry tomatoes. I do have a grow light now in the house, so I will be getting my started way earlier this year, and I'm going to get really good potting soil to start them in. None of that coconut coir stuff. I don't mind the expandable coconut coir dirt. However, you guys, as I noticed this year, it's great for seedlings to pop up, but then nothing really grows. So I'm going to get a good quality potting soil this next year, something that my seeds can germinate well in. Maybe mix it with some of the expandable coconut coir a little bit. And I think that would probably be the best way to utilize the coconut core. And there's other good things for utilizing the coconut core too, but as far as starting your seedlings and hoping that they're going to keep growing, not so much, not in my experience, at least not this year. And so I've got my quince right here. I got a full-on mess here on the ground for me to trip over, but my quince is in this bucket right here. And I did go ahead and top it and cut off that broken section. And I'm really glad that I did, because just above this cut right here, you guys, I had a whole section where the wood was all starting to rot in here. So those top branches weren't going to make it anyways. I tried to get them to air layer, and I had a lot of growth, but not a lot of success. However, what I did do with the top half of that tree was I cut the cambium back, and I went ahead and stuck it in this pot. I'm actually going to go move this into the greenhouse in hopes that, this morning, in hopes that it will possibly root. Let's go over here really quick. This is where I moved the greenhouse back to. The reason why I moved the greenhouse back over here is because twofold. One, I get really great sunlight here all year long right in this spot. The shade from the house goes up to a certain point, and this section I will always have warmth. Downside is this plastic on the top of the greenhouse is broken, so I do need to get a new cover. Will it last the winter? I don't know, but I think if I get a new cover before winter, put it on here, and if it snows, just be really diligent about sweeping it off very gently, and being mindful that the plastic is really cold and really touchy at that time of the year. But if I have a chance before it snows, I was thinking about enlisting the help of my husband and maybe building a structure around the greenhouse, you guys, and putting a like that, I can't remember what it's called, but they use them in cold frames a lot. It's a type of plastic that they use in the cold frames. I can't remember what it's called. Poly something. Anyways, and using some of that for the roof, or maybe even some of the like patio or, you know, clear greenhouse type tops. Just something to create a roof. It doesn't have to be like super like, you know, enclosed, because it would already have the plastic on the side. So I just really need a little structure that surrounds this all the way around, and that has a nice sturdy top that the snow will just like pull right off of. So that's what I'm thinking. And like, I can get all the boards cut to size and either nail or screw them all together. So it shouldn't be too hard to create, and I can get everything pre-cut at the store, just figure out in my mind what I exactly need, and maybe my husband can help me with that, and then we can just build something really easy, and then just kind of do it on the cheap side, you know. And I know it costs money to have the cuts done, but we don't have the saws at home, so it would be better just to have all the cuts done in the store and just do it there. So this is how everything's looking. I've got the greenhouse shut up right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it. It looks like it's gonna be kind of off and on sunny today, so I'll probably end up leaving the greenhouse. For the most part, I've gotta come down here and hold this and unzip. I have to, looks like we're going to be getting rain today quite a bit, so I may just go ahead and leave it closed when I go to work later. So let's come in here. It's all full of condensation, and I'll show you what I put in here. And look at this little guy. A little slug. Okay, I'm going to toss that outside and take care of him. All right, so these are some of the Chilean guavas. I'm decided to go ahead and sell the guavas and just keep the items I know for sure that I'm going to love and eat. So I didn't really care for the lemon guavas when I got some from the store this year. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be selling the rest of my lemon guavas here and the Chilean guava, and just let somebody else who wants them to have them. So my fig is looking really good, and I was just checking these ones out, you guys, and I was feeling them, and that one's nice and hard now. That one's nice and hard. That one's nice and hard. Well, I guess they needed a little bit of water because last night when I felt them, they were a little bit squishy. But I'm noticing they're getting these little pink bottom sections on them where the eye is. And so that is really, really lovely. I'm liking seeing that. So I think that my tree is going to really love all of my fig trees are going to really love being in here. And as well as all of my other younger saplings. So I did move in all of the pear trees because the rabbits were eating those. And I didn't want to take a chance that the rabbits were going to eat my figs. And so I moved those in. I moved in my small peach, my bushes here, my roses of Sharon. I moved those all in because they love those too. I moved my avocado tree in just in case. I don't think that the rabbits will eat the avocado tree, but I moved it in just in case. I've moved my citruses in, my little tiny peach. It's gotten a little bit crispy, so I moved it right here. It gets a little bit more shade. And then, yeah, so everything's looking good. So I need to move in the quinces just so that they're in here and they might actually root. So we're close to 71 degrees in here right now, about 22, 24 Celsius or something like that. I'm just guessing, looking at it, just glancing a little bit. But I do have eggplant in here growing. So I had my eggplant just kind of like put in different pots. So anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share. Moved my young blueberries in here as well. And that way they don't get eaten. I've got 3 young blueberry plants in this pot now growing, which is really exciting. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And click that bell button. As always, you guys, you have a wonderful day. And God bless. Bye.